Alright guys, Watchman's Post coming back to you again. DubPost here. This is what I woke up to this morning. I woke up, reached over, and I got a tablet, and I'm checking my notifications. It's hurrah, it's breaking. Breaking what? It says airstrikes reported in Syria near Israeli border. And I thought, no way, they hit another drone or something? Israel's hitting over there again? What is this? And they're talking about a follow-up, and it says 800 missiles unleashed on rebel-held area near Golan Heights. I'm like, oh man, this is the area I'm watching. This is Israeli Golan Heights, and what did it say? 800 missiles unleashed on rebel-held area near the Golan Heights. So they're talking about all these little red dots, right? That's got to be what they're talking about. So this is Israel. Remember, if you've been keeping up with me, this is the buffer zone. Israel said that there's an agreement, 1973-74 agreement, and that they're going to withhold this buffer zone or uphold this buffer zone or security zone, you know, like a fence. And if you come over, anybody gets in there, they're going to defend it. And look at all the red dots, and this is what they're talking about. Within, what did they say again? It seemed like they said within 6 hours, in a matter of 6 hours, because there was two different ones. It seemed like they said in a matter of 6 hours. Yeah, there it is. A second one. Assad fired some 800 missiles in 6 hours, about 40 kilometers, and kilometers, you know, for generally, you know, comparable to a mile. So within around 4 miles from Israel's border. That's how close it is. You know, people can walk around a track and, you know, for exercise a few times and do 3 or 4 miles. That's how close it is to Israel right now. I mean, walking distance. You can walk that in a matter of some minutes. That's how close it is to Israel right now. And they just dropped, what did they say again? 800 missiles in 6 hours, man. That close to the Israel border. And you know, I like I said, I've told you before in past videos, I'm no expert, but for sure this is a part of that buffer zone. I'm not sure if this is or not, but seemingly it's right on the buffer zone. If not, if this isn't considered a part of the buffer zone or not. I've seen a lot of different little maps. I'll show you examples of. I've saved some of these little maps. I got a little folder here for Israel just to kind of show you some examples. That's the Idlib area, and I didn't make this. This is covering the same sort of situation. You can see this blue area here is the Golan Heights, and they're showing the Golan Heights. It's not really highlighted in this picture, but they're highlighting this buffer zone that Israel said that they're going to maintain. Let me back out so it's a little more comparable for you. Right? So Golan Heights and Golan Heights, and they're highlighting that buffer zone. So you tell me, you know, help me out. We got a comment section, and you know, like I said, I'm no expert. I'm watching, so you know, let's you know, work together here. And is this area right here that they're dropping 800 missiles in 6 hours this morning? Is that in this area? I don't know, man. Like I said, every picture I find. To really draw that line out to where line B is. A line is the blue line. Obviously that's pretty easy. That's right along the Golan. It's about exactly the same. But this B line, it changes from picture to picture, and you know, this map is isn't law or anything. Some guy's sitting around making it. So like I said, I'm no expert. I'm confused. Is this the buffer zone with this dotted line, or is it this dotted line? Down here they seem to come together. Up there they come together. So whether this is in that buffer zone or not, it really makes a difference. Either way, it's right on that buffer zone, and they're reporting it's it's 4 kilometers from not the buffer zone, but from the actual border here. Let's zoom in a little bit more and see what some of these missile strikes say. Let's see here. Obviously, these little sad faces with X's mean somebody died, dead and wounded among pro-SAA forces. So that's Assad's forces by a mine. They walked on a mine, blew up on them. What's this one? Violent clashes between rebels and government forces. So the rebels are in the green, and the pro-Assad forces are in the red, and they're having it out. These are probably shelling. Yeah, SAA is Assad's forces. Syrian Arab Army is what SAA stands for. They're shelling, and I believe that's when they. You've seen it before. Everybody has. They drop the little shell into the mortar. Like a pipe, and it shoots out shelling. That's got to be what that is. Syrian army has captured new area. So, they get the reports. It comes across on Twitter, and this guy's sharing like he's catching it on Twitter, showing it on the news feed over here, showing you where it's at, and then as it's verified, he'll move the map, and the red will come in some more. So they've taken more ground. It's just the map hasn't updated yet. Maybe he's waiting for a verification or something. But 800 strikes, man. It's getting on, and they're trying to close this final gap here. And they want to move on up onto the Golan Heights. If you're watching this, man, I'm not promising that war will break out. We'll see. I can't tell the future, but as they move closer and closer on the Golan, there's a potential that things could break out. And I keep seeing these hints that they might want to try to take the Golan from Israel. And like I said, at the end of the day, whether Assad wants to or not, Iran's Hezbollah forces are out there, and they said they want to destroy Israel. So, it wasn't a month or so back that for the first time ever, Iran's Hezbollah forces that are out there right now shot missiles over into the Golan Heights, and that's never happened before. And like the next day, Assad came out and said, I didn't know that was going to happen. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. It was the Iranians. So, whether he really knew that it was going to happen or not, he's admitting that, what's going on the ground is out of my control, that Iran's, that's his way of saying Iran's running the game. Iran's running the army and the offensive down there, and I don't even know what's happening. One day he's saying one thing, and that day he probably said that out of fear of a retaliatory strike on Damascus. Think about it, if he would have came out and said, yeah, we attacked Israel in the Golan Heights, don't you think Israel would have leveled Damascus, or at least retaliated against them? But he came out and said, it wasn't me, and Israel knows it wasn't Assad. They know it was the Iranian forces. So my whole point is, Iran is pushing in on these Golan Heights. Iran has said that they're going to destroy Israel, and they're just waiting for orders to attack Israel and destroy Israel. And this is what it's about. There's a coming Israeli-Iran war, and these Hezbollah forces are the front line for Iran right now. So they're saying they've captured this town. More shelling. Somebody died here. What's this? Captured more ground. So here, I'll show you a picture. So overall, they're working to catch more ground. Again, this is Israel. You can see on the small map right there, Jordan, Syria. Look how close Damascus is, and Israel hits places way out past Damascus all the time. They can take Damascus out anytime they want to. It's a small little place, and it wouldn't take a few planes and a few missiles, and they could level Damascus, especially the palace and Assad. And the Bible says in Isaiah 17 that Damascus will fall and that they're going to lose all control of their kingdom, which is the nation now. And if they hit Damascus tonight, if America hit Damascus tonight, if somebody took out Damascus and Assad, his palace, and he was gone, it would be chaos in Syria, and it would be up for grabs to see who's going to take Syria. And it would be probably a dogfight or a race between Iran and Turkey to see who's gonna snatch up this ground, because of Assad's falling. But yes, 800 strikes within 6 hours. I mean, they're going to work out there. Here's from the 13th, which was Friday. Today's Sunday, and you can already tell here. I'll cut the little buttons off so you can really get a comparison as to how much ground they've taken since then. And really, this has changed only this morning. You can see right here, there's a difference. You see that? They're pushing in there, taking more ground, and you seen just a second right there. It's different. Those little spots were saying taking ground. They're moving in, and they want to clear up the last little bit of area and get as close as they can into the buffer zone before they actually start having conflicts with Israel, if they're willing to push on further and actually have conflicts with Israel. Now, this is just a screenshot and a picture I dressed up to show the advancements they made that day on the 13th. I haven't made one today. I'm just turning the camera on. I'll probably make another one later on. But let me show you overall. I know there's plenty of people that are still just popping in and don't have any clue as to what I'm talking about. So I try to make it simple, and so that, you know, even if you're brand new today, you can see what it is I'm talking about. I try to make it easy. So I've taken screenshots from the beginning of this. They called it a Dara offensive, Quneitra offensive, and Dara's down here. Let me move it over just in case you can't see that. I can't see my myself in the corner, so if I'm blocking stuff, you know, I'm sorry. I can't even see that. So that's just a still shot. All right, so. Yeah, so I've been taking these pictures since the beginning, and Quneitra is up in this area. There's a Quneitra city up in this area, and then they have like a greater Quneitra area to the countryside, and this is Dara City. They just recently took Dara City and Dara countryside. And from the beginning of this, and you can see this GIF I've made, but I just took a lot of shots over each advancement. I've highlighted with circles the area that they took that day, and kind of show you the overall objective, the mission that they've been working on to take this area. And they called it from the beginning the Dara offensive, Quneitra offensive. And Qunetra's up here, up in the actual area that I guess it's the Quneitra city, is in the buffer zone that Israel said that they will not allow anybody to violate that buffer zone. And from the very beginning, they've been calling the shots, saying they want to get all the way up over into Quneitra, calling this the Quneitra Dara offensive. After a while, they started calling it Operation Basalt, Op Basalt. You can see that sometimes. And at first they flirted around to come up in this area, but it looked like Israel sent them messages and pop shot a couple times, and they decided they wanted to work from the far corner. So what was it? It should start over. June 19th there, they started working at that far corner, and they've worked for the past few weeks, coming down, and working farthest from Israel as they could to keep distance, to not cause too much action to come back from Israel. They wanted to focus on these rebels without having to deal with Israel, and they did, and they gave them a free rein, and they came in and dealt with the rebels and didn't deal with Israel much at all. But now they're coming in and they're closing in on the buffer zone that Israel has said that they should not violate, and the operation as far as the rebels is almost over now. And like I said, this is, as this goes on, it's getting more and more tense, nail biting on the edge of your seat to see how far they're going to press up into this buffer zone that Israel said that they will not allow him to go up into. Are they going to get up to the buffer zone and stop and not have confrontation with Israel? Are they going to press on into the buffer zone and have confrontation with Israel? Are they going to try to take the Golan Heights back because they said it belongs to them? You know, if they even get on this buffer zone, they're going to have conflicts with Israel. They had the second drone just the other day wasn't even in Israel's territory. It was just in the buffer zone, and Israel sent a Patriot missile out and dropped it. So that's how serious they are about playing with this red line that they've drawn in the sand. And like I said, it's going to be interesting. Are they going to, have the guts to get out there and push up into Israel's red line? And, it's crazy. So this is, like I said, Ezekiel 38 says that Iran's forces will come against the mountains of God, and Mount Hermon's up in here, and this is a mountainous region. Isaiah 17 says that Damascus will fall, and this is a high prophetic time and an event to keep up with. I suggest you keep up with this and get on Twitter, find this map, and keep up with what's going on with this, and share with your friends, share with the other Christians. This is something every Christian should be watching. 800 missiles in 6 hours, and they're only 4 kilometers from the Israeli border. Will they have the guts to press up into Israel's territory? We're about to find out. They're pressing on in real close today, and they're gaining ground constantly. This one just 22 minutes ago, it came across my notifications. They're saying that Israel shot down a Russian drone. I haven't read that yet, and South Front is very reliable. It seems interesting. I have to read that, and if there's something in there, I'll report back to you. And just to scroll around and show you a little bit more information. Golan Heights, Israel, Iran. As a Christian, you should be watching this. You should be keeping up with this. This is God's prophecy. These are the words he's been giving us for thousands of years, and he told you to watch. I suggest you watch that. Let's see what else we got. His report says that right now, the U.S. Navy is out in the Pacific Ocean doing what they call a rim pack exercise with just about every other allied country we're friends with in the world. And this year, China usually participates with us, but this year we've excluded China from the rim pack exercises. And here they are out there towards Hawaii, and they're spying on us. Yesterday they were our friends, and now they're our enemy. And I'm sure most people out there watching this sort of stuff, that we've started a trade war with China. That China's been stealing our information from our military. Tensions with China are extremely high. People are sleeping on China. We're on the verge with China almost as much as we are with Russia. And it's time to stop sleeping on China and read up on what's going on with China. Let's see. North Korea. Remember, I told you Thursday they were supposed to meet up with the U.S. and North Korea was supposed to meet up and talk about getting some bodies back from the Korean War. North Korea stood us up, and then halfway through the day where they stood us up, they called up and said, Sunday, hey, we want to reschedule for Sunday. And today's Sunday. It looks like they actually showed up. Can you believe it? And this is saying South Korea's military would like to have a word with Russia's military about what its planes have been doing in the Korean Peninsula. So I mentioned this in my last video, and I found a better picture for you. Last time I wasn't really prepared, just on the fly, and I found this picture after talking about it, and I figured I would show it and give you a better reference if you're still watching. And I pieced two pictures together last time, but this is showing you the whole region. Look how close Japan is to North Korea. Japan's a great ally. South Korea is our ally, and then North Korea is allied with China and Russia. I mean, this is ground zero for World War III. You're gonna see, I promise you. And so the point though with the story yesterday was Russia's putting out military aircraft, and they're violating South Korea's air zone way down here. So in this picture, it's better set up for you to understand why is Russian military aircraft way down here. No excuse. You see, there's it would be understandable maybe if you see some Chinese military aircraft invading Russia airspace. Well, they got a border. It was, oops, I'm sorry, I went a little too far. You know what I'm saying? Or just for example, China's military went a little too far in North Korea, which I'm sure they wouldn't even care, because like I've said, North Korea, China, and Russia have a great alliance. They're all allies, and we're going to get into World War III with 1, 2, 3, all of them over North Korea real soon. I promise you. Keep watching. You'll see, even if you ain't watching. But Russia violated South Korea's airspace with military aircraft 4 times in one day. I'll scroll through it and see if I can find that actual report, so it's not just my word for it. You'll see the headline and be verified. I don't like to tell you anything that out of my own opinion that I can't verify. So Watchmen's didn't make that up. It's legit. It's right there. But that's a long way from home, boys. What you Ruskies doing way down here, And like I said the other day, it shows that they're doing long range aircraft missions for what? Practice? Practice for what? And that's what that report right there is saying. South Korea's military would like to have a word with Russia's military about what its planes have been getting up to in and around the Korean Peninsula. What are you doing? What are you doing way out there? We'd like to know. We'd like to know why you're way out here. Can you tell us? What's your excuse for invading our airspace way out here? What can they say? The truth is, they're practicing long-range bomber missions. At bare minimum, they're spying on South Korea. But I'm telling you, they're probably practicing on defending North Korea and doing a little test run to see what it's like whenever things break off to hit South Korea. Russia, China, North Korea is all allied together. In the past, in the Korean War, in the past, it was China that supported North Korea. This time, I believe we're going to be surprised, and Russia's going to get involved too. But so that's Yonhap, and I know Yonhap's not Fox News or CNN. Maybe you've never heard of it, but it's a main reporting agency out of South Korea, verified. This guy's verified. He works for Wall Street Journal. And then Yonhap is verified. All the major networks across the entire world use Yonhap as a source. They break information, and then Fox and CNN and everybody else goes and re-shares the information that they got from Yonhap. So it's very legitimate information there. Let's move on to something else. Erdogan warns Putin over Syrian military and Idlib operations. Now, this is something, maybe I haven't covered recently, but let's pull that map back up and I'll show you real fast what they're talking about. Now, this is a little farther from Israel. When we're in the Middle East, we're looking at Israel like that's home. Up here, this is Turkey. No, not the Turkey on Thanksgiving. It's a country. And this region right here is Idlib. And Turkey's pushed into Idlib, and they've taken a little piece of Syria. This is the Idlib region, and that's what they're talking about right there. I personally believe, a lot of people believe that Russia's Gog and Magog. So that would mean that Russia's going to come down and press into Israel. I personally believe that it's Turkey. Either way, I'm not telling you that it is Turkey. It might be Russia. It might be Turkey. There's a lot of other people that believe it's Turkey too. But regardless, just to give you an understanding of what that information is talking about, Erdogan warns Putin. So either way, whether you think it's Turkey, Erdogan is the leader of Turkey. Whether you think it's Putin, Putin is the leader of Russia. I'm sure you know that. They're both talking about what? Some piece of territory on the route that the Bible says that they're going to come down against the mountains of Israel and make an attack against Israel. So is Gog and Magog, is it Turkey? Is it Russia? Is it both? Either way, there's a piece of information that you might want to check out. Not a lot of people are into that one. And I'm not on here covering what people like. I'm covering what God has showed me is important to him and the Bible. And I suggest you start looking up information about Erdogan and that Idlib area, and see all the things he's done to people out there and what's going on out there. Here's another one. Turkey's Erdogan says Syrian government forces are targeting Idlib and could destroy the accord. So what's he talking about? Again, same area, this Idlib area. And remember, this is how close they are to Israel. And he's saying that Assad's forces are attacking his forces over here. And right now they've got some agreement that he's not going to press and take any more of Assad's area. But if he keeps attacking Erdogan's forces, he said that our little agreement's going to be off, and me and you's going to be going at it, to put it in easy terms, right? No misunderstandings. So, and that's Reuters. That's one of the biggest news agencies there is in the world. Verified. Every time you see one of these checks, that means they're verified, official, not some guy sitting at his house saying that. This is Israeli Defense Force, Israel's military. They comprise their navy, their air force, their army, everything into one IDF, one military, Israeli Defense Force. And that's showing a strike against Gaza. I don't talk about Gaza a lot. I told you in one of the last videos that it's a little less serious of an area. Most of the time, these boys are down there throwing stones and doing little terrorist fire kites and bottle rockets. And they're nowhere near as great of a threat as Iran and the Hezbollah forces in Lebanon and on the Golan Heights that are pressing in. That's the big show. That's the main. Like you're at a boxing fight. There's several little lightweight bouts, and at the end is the big heavyweight match for the belt. The big heavyweight match to watch with Israel is that northern Golan Heights region where Iran is pressing in, and that's going to be the heavyweight fight. But this fight with Gaza is still a fight. It's still relevant. People still are dying and getting hurt. It's still serious. They might not be as a big of a contender with Israel, but it's very serious. And man, it picked up for the last couple of days. I'll scroll through here and show you. Just let me see if I can just make that one go again. This is Israel striking back against Gaza, and they are not playing. Israel is not out here playing with their safety of their people. Can you blame them? If somebody comes up in your yard threatening your safety, are you going to play games with them? Israel's not playing games with the safety of their people, and they're dropping big bombs. This is one of the Hamas launching a rocket over into Israel. So this isn't Israel hitting Gaza. This is Gaza, Hamas, them sending a rocket over and hitting Israel. So they're just hanging out Israel, regular day. All of a sudden, bang. Now, luckily, it seems like they're shooting rockets, but they always keep saying that it was empty. It didn't actually have any explosives in it. So again, even though that's a pretty serious explosion, I wouldn't want that explosion going off in my backyard with my children out there playing. But they're saying they didn't even have an explosive round inside of the shell. It was an empty shell. That was just a shell hitting, the impact of the shell hitting. And most of these things, so they're putting their money somewhere else. It must not be in the explosives, and that's great. But Israel's not sending empty shells back to them. It's not a game. They're sending empty rockets over into Israel, threatening the safety, and then Israel's returning missile strikes against Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, and hitting facilities over there. Here's another one. This is Hamas shooting a rocket off and hitting, looks like a little neighborhood. It says a playground where children should be playing. So these looks like houses or something. There's the playground. And now here, I'll do it one more time. And then Gaza launches a rocket. Boom. But they said, look, thankfully it was empty. So, like I said, these guys, even the stuff they have that's serious, these big bottle rockets they got, they're not even putting explosives in there, probably because they're putting the money to something else. But it got serious, man. I'll show you some more. This one, airstrikes hitting Gaza, so Israel hitting back. Israel ain't playing. They sent a little bottle rocket on that playground, but that right there ain't no bottle rocket. So this shows Israel's a heavyweight and Gaza's a lightweight. They're taking it easy on these people. They hit, even though that looks like a huge explosion, most of that's probably smoke, and they hit one of these little houses where they knew they've got a sophisticated intelligence force, and they know exactly where Hamas, which is the terrorists, are sleeping at night, and I guarantee you that's what they hit. And a lot of times Israel hits empty places, storage facilities where there shouldn't even be any people. They're not hitting residences where there's tons of civilians. And I don't get into the Gaza thing because there's so much lying going on. They'll say they hit a place and killed all kinds of children, and the truth was it was a storage facility. Excuse me, nose itching. So, but like I said, this stuff was going on crazy for like 24, 48 hours, and I casually keep up with this stuff. There's always some strikes or something going on with Gaza, but they said this time it was more intense. That usually, you throw a rock over our way, we throw a rock over your way. It's tit for tat, little game they say they played, but Israel's changing their attitude, and they're saying they're changing the rules to the game, and they're saying they're tired of it, they're fed up, and they're not going to take it anymore. And if you send over here a bottle rocket over here and risk the safety of our civilians, we're gonna risk the safety of your civilians. You need to stop. And this is showing exactly that. Is it worth sending a bottle rocket over and risking our civilians for the retaliation that you're going to receive? You're not going to want the fight that you're going to get on your hands. You need to stop. So they're trying to deter them from doing that again. Here's a different topic. Get off the Gaza topic. I don't like the Gaza topic. Warning lights are blinking red. Top intelligence officer says of Russians' attacks. So they're talking about cyber attacks that the Russians have done, supposedly, whether you believe this guy or that guy. Either way, whether you're a conspiracy theorist or a flat, media follower, it doesn't matter. They're blaming Russia for lots of things, poison attacks, cyber hacks. I'm pretty sure they're violating the sanctions. but they're blaming all these things on Russia, and the top intelligence officers coming out about talking about it. And it's just another example that they're building up tensions with Russia, and they want a conflict. They want a war with Russia. I'm telling you, they want one. And it's going to come. It's coming. God said that there was a bear in Daniel's dream, and that bear was going to rise up and devour much flesh. The bear's Russia. But I'm not even going to pull up any more to show you that. I hope you know where that's at in the Bible, Daniel. Look it up, Google it, quick Google, and you'll find it. Here's, like I said, I don't like talking about Gaza and stuff. But just to quickly show you how serious things were over the last 15 hours, civilians in these cities heard more than 141 red siren alerts as more than 60 rockets rained down on southern Israel, and that was at one stage of what was going on for a long period of time, and it was even more than that. And if you look up, I don't know right off the top of my head, there's a Bible verse, and Gaza's in the Bible, and it says that Gaza will be destroyed. Ashlikon's in, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. Ashlikon and I believe Ashdod is in that Bible verse. Google it. Google Gaza Bible verse and see what you can find. You'll find it. And if you can't find it, you can always, get on that WhatsApp and send messages. Message me on Twitter, and as long as you're reasonable and adult and Christian, I'll try to get back to you and respond to you and show you where that Bible verse is. But it says that Gaza, Ashlikon, which is on Israel's side. Now, Gaza is their territory, but the Bible verse says that Gaza will be wiped out. Ashlikon and Ashdod, which would be on Israel's side, is going to get hit, destroyed. You have to read it for yourself. It's been a little while since I read it, but that means at some point they're going to have a back and forth so bad that Gaza's going to get wiped out, and Israel's Ashlikon and Ashdod is going to get hit, and they're going to suffer too. So there's a prophecy foretelling this stuff happening. So it's serious, enough for God to make a prophecy about it. But it's still not nearly, if that was all that Israel, all their problems that they had, that would be a great blessing. But they've got a big heavyweight contender coming to town, and it's Iran, and that's a whole bigger prophecy. Again, here's Russia talking to Turkey, Putin and Erdogan, Putin, Turkey, Russia. And they're discussing what? The crisis. Now, just jumping around, just trying something new. If you guys like for me to make a video on one topic and just do one little thing, let me know in the comment section. If you like me jumping around and talking about lots of different things and being random, let me know if you like that too. It's easier this way, so I'm sure it's harder to keep up with. But Google, I think it's Jeremiah 49 verse 23, and it talks about Jeremiah's got a prophecy about Damascus. It's concerning Damascus, and it's talking about the destruction of Damascus. But in his prophecy, it's a little different. God gives a similar story to different prophets, and they get different little pieces. And it's your job to read the Bible and read these prophecies and put it together like puzzle pieces in your mind so that you can understand overall what God's put out for us. So God gives a little piece to Isaiah, gives a little piece to Jeremiah. In Jeremiah, he says there's a place called Arpad and a place called Hama. Well, Hama's right here, and it's still called Hama today. But Arpad was up here, and now today they call it Tel Rafat or Tal Rafat. And there's different translations of these Arabic dialects, so sometimes they spell things differently. But it's the same place, and this used to be ancient Arpad. In that prophecy, he's talking about, you'll know that destruction of Damascus is coming soon, because there's going to be, before they get down to Damascus, which, in case you don't know where that's at, it's right there. See this long highway? That's a main highway. And throughout the Syrian war, they had this highway closed. And just recently, they opened it back up, and they've repaired bridges and stuff, and it's serviceable again, and people can run this highway. And that's relevant to this prophecy. But it says in Jeremiah 49 that you'll hear of trouble in Arpad or Tel Rafat and Hama. And look who is on the verge of these areas right now. Turkey. This is Turkey. This is Turkish forces. See, it says Turkish control in North Syria, Olive Branch operation, the Euphrates Shield operation. So this is the Olive Branch operation. This is the Euphrates Shield operation. So they took ground, called it Euphrates Shield, and they took this area, and then Turkish forces took this area, and they called it Olive Branch. But either way, it's Turkey. So my point is what? Jeremiah 49:23, God said you're going to hear about some scary things happening with Arpad, Tel Rafat, and Hama. And who is it right now pushing on those areas? Turkey. And they really want Tel Rafat for whatever reason. At one point, Turkey, and like I keep showing over and over, Turkey and Russia are really good allies. Turkey is a member of the NATO, and they're supposed to be an ally with us. But these Turkish boys, they're friends today with whoever benefits them today. They've shot down a Russian aircraft in the past, and they've threatened U.S. forces, and they're a member of the NATO. So there's some funny characters, man. But the point is, at some point, Russia is up here, and they're working with Assad's red forces, right? And they come in and Tel Rafat, and they maintain this area too. And Erdogan got on the phone with Putin at one point and says, we want to take Tel Rafat. They must have led them, and they came in there one day and they had Tel Rafat, and then it was like something changed. I think Russia's playing both sides with Turkey and Assad. And earlier you seen here, I'll show you. Remember, Erdogan said he's got an accord with Syria right now. And Erdogan's trashed Syria and Assad. He said he doesn't like Assad. Assad needs to be thrown out, and somebody else needs to come in there and take that area. I wonder who he wants to come in and take that area. Probably himself, right? He's already taken some of the land, right? So, but anyways, and then Assad probably called Russia up and said, no, don't let them take that area, it's mine. And Russia got back on the phone with Erdogan and said, we need you to withdraw. So they moved right back out. And he's been negotiation. He wants that Tel Rafat area so bad. So at some point, Jeremiah, God told us all, prophesied through Jeremiah, that somebody's going to take this Tel Rafat area, and somebody's going to take this Hama area. And you could easily argue the other way around, depending on what you believe. And I try to cover both sides of the speculation there as to whether Magog is Russia or Turkey. I'm no expert. I don't understand everything. And like I said, there's a divide in the Christian idea out there as to whether it's Russia or whether it's Turkey. I know lots of the mainstream scholars, most of the guys out there are saying it's Russia. Personally, I think it's Turkey. But you could say, Russia's backing Assad, and they got Hama and Tel Rafat right now. They've got Russian army patrols Tel Rafat city like police doing a route on a daily basis. So or at least a regular basis anyway. So you could argue that they've already got Tel Rafat and Hama. Russia does, but there's not a lot of severity in the Bible verse. let's see if I can pull it up real fast. Now, I can't promise this is going to work because for whatever reason, this Bible verse, I love this one, but it plays games with me. So let's see if I can pull it up so I can quote the Bible more professionally here instead of, what did I say, Jeremiah 49:28? All right, 23. So he says, God says to Jeremiah, concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded. So what do you mean, God? What's confounded mean? That means they're scared. And Arpad, which I just showed you. What's Arpad? Arpad's this Tel Rafat area. For they have heard evil tidings, and they are what? Faint-hearted. So right now, Russia, if you want to say, oh, well, it's Russia, they ain't scared. They sitting back pretty solid, pretty secure, and it's been like that for a while. So if it's Russia, where's the fear? You understand what I'm saying? They're saying they're confounded, faint-hearted. There is sorrow on the sea. Russia's there right now, man. If you think that Gog and Magog is Russia, Russia's got this area right now, and they're sitting back secure. They like the fact that Russia's there, and it brings stability to the situation. No confounded, faint-hearted sorrow situation. But like I said, I may be wrong. Maybe Russia will bring some sorrow to them soon. But all these people fear Turkey. They don't like Turkey. Turkey is bringing in hardcore, radical Islam. They bring in Sharia law. These people were running around, women were running around with their hair out, uncovered, and under Assad's reign, he's a secular Muslim, moderate Muslim, so like a lukewarm Muslim or whatever, and they were running around, women with their hair out, and more like a regular day in America in comparison. But all of a sudden, Turkey came in, and this green area took their area, and now they're out there putting women in those long black hijab, whatever it's called, Sharia law, and enforcing it on them, and they're treating people bad out there. You have to look up the reports for yourself. I won't get into detail on how bad he's treating those people, but they don't like when Turkey comes to town, and I wouldn't either. Sharia law is awful. Erdogan is a hardcore Muslim. Now he plays games. He's shaving his face, but don't let him fool you. That boy's hardcore Muslim, man, and nobody likes it when they come to town. So it says, Damascus is waxed feeble and turneth herself to flee. Fear hath seized on her, and anguish and sorrows have taken her as a woman in travail. So overall, God's telling you to check out this Tel Rafat Arpad area and Hama area. And as things get really bad with these two areas, he's saying you'll know that Damascus is going to fall soon, because they'll be getting weak and they're going to fall. A guy I follow says that Turkey's going to come all the way down. They're going to hit those two areas, which they're already on right now. And that's the point I'm making. And they're going to come all the way down. They're going to take Damascus too. He may be right. I'm not sure. Personally, I think with the way things are going, I still believe that it might be Israel that hits Damascus or America that hits Damascus, but I do believe he's right. I do believe Turkey is Gog and Magog, and Turkey's going to hit this highway. They're going to come down, and they'll come through Damascus. Whether they claim the territory or not, I don't really care, but I do believe he's right. They will be the ones coming along with the Persians and Islamic army against Israel through this route, through this area. And God says against the mountains of Israel. So just to give you an overall, Watchmen, DubPost, why you got that Erdogan in Russia up on your Twitter page? Well, I just explained it to you. Now you know. When you see that, hopefully you caught some of my rant here and understand a little bit. Read those Bible verses. Like I said, Jeremiah 49:23. It's right there. Go and read that for yourself and pray God give you understanding. He's the God of understanding. He'll give it to you. You ask, you shall receive. You knock, it shall be open to you. Ask him, Lord, what does this mean? Give me understanding. He'll show you. So that's why that's there, and that's something to watch for too. I'm not, as of right now, like I said, that guy's way up there. Is it something to watch for that's going to happen soon? Absolutely. Is it something to happen that might happen today? Not today. He's got a long ways to go before it happens today. Turkey. Let me back out and show you how big Turkey is. I mean, here's Israel, and I've heard Netanyahu say Israel's the size of New Jersey. It's a tiny place. Syria is a large place, but Turkey is monstrous in comparison to the both. And Turkey is one of the most powerful militaries in the world too. They are not a joke. Look how big they are in comparison to Iran. These are the big heavyweight countries that are going to come against Israel. Israel's the size of New Jersey, and hopefully I'm down here and I'm not blocking that. Iran is a major power. They said that it has nuclear weapons in hiding. Turkey's a major power. Lots of soldiers, lots of military equipment. They are super heavyweights in comparison to the bottle rockets down there on the Gaza Strip, and that's the big main event. And God said these boys are going to roll down against Israel. So to give you a perspective, but like I said, he's way up here. He's still got a long way to go. He's on ice right now, and he's not moving, and he's saying he's got an accord with Assad for now, but if Assad keeps playing with him, he said he's gonna come down and whoop Assad and take up his land. And like I said earlier, when Damascus falls, the Bible says, where's Damascus? I'm moving a little bit more. Right there, man. When Damascus falls, and God said it will, Isaiah 17, the entire Syria's region's going to be up for grabs. Who's going to take it? Erdogan showed he's land hungry. He's power hungry. He wants that territory. Iran's already in there. They've already got bases set up. They already got armies set up. They're there, and the Bible said that both of them are coming. You know, Russia's out there too, if you believe that's Magog. The point is, I'm not trying to push my personal interpretations on you. I'm trying to show you, whatever your interpretation is, you better be watching Israel right now, because things are getting serious. Let me move on to something else. Let's keep it going instead of beating on one topic. You might not like that topic. Let's keep on going. Do you care about America? I've had dreams about North Korea becoming the start of World War III, and it's not just me. Many others have. And regardless of whether you take my dreams and other people's dreams seriously, you need to keep up with North Korea. The president said that at some points they're a nuclear threat. You know, one day he's saying that they're not a nuclear threat, and all the intelligence agencies and spies we've got coming back from around the world are saying they ain't giving up those nuclear warheads and weapons they've got. They're increasing their capability, and they're still a threat. Here's a report from one of my friends, the Bride of Lion of Judah. And you can get on Twitter and follow this stuff and work together with all of us, and send it to me. I'll retweet it, and we'll all watch together. And many hands makes for light work. So this one's from the New York Post, and I had a lady say, "I can't believe you use New York Post." I use any source, whoever it is from around the world. If the Gazans are over there saying that we just got hit by Israel, I'm gonna use their source too. It's about the information and what's being put out there and what's being said. It's not about promoting the New York Post or Sputnik. It's about informing you as to what's going on. But they're saying it's time to start making North Korea pay for its broken promises. What broken promises? They've said that they were going to do this and that. They've said that they were going to denuclearize. They just built a missile factory. I've seen reports that at bare minimum, their nuclear facilities are running at normal speed. They haven't slowed down anything. And I've seen other people say they're increasing. So they're not denuclearizing. The intelligence agency are saying they're not denuclearizing. And they're breaking sanctions. Russia and China are helping them break the sanctions. There's lots of broken promises. So regardless of whether you take New York Post seriously or not, it's a serious statement and it's just a fact. Here's a different topic. Netanyahu vows no end to the Gaza strikes until Hamas gets the message. So he's making a point to these boys. I'm not going to hit one place for every place you hit with me anymore. I'm tired of you boys sending rockets over, and you're going to stop. And if not, you're going to beg for mercy. We're going to drop it on you till you learn a lesson. And it's time somebody teach these boys a lesson. I'm for that. Like I said, I try not to get into Gaza's situation. A lot of people are biased and they say free Palestine. God said that land belongs to him, and it belongs to the Israel, the people he's established there. Right now, they may be under judgment for gay pride parades running through Israel, slut walks, and forgive my language, but that's exactly what it's called. And I try not to get on topics like that. I try to stick towards military stuff, but just to show you real fast and keep it adult now, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I spelled that wrong. Let me show you. Slut walkers take to the streets of Jerusalem. Just to show you, I'm not being foul or calling it something it ain't. That's exactly what they call it. And it looks like they got some half naked ladies on there, so put your children away. But Jerusalem Post is showing that these ladies get out there and we've heard of a gay parade and Israel's got those. Israel's got slut walkers. That's what the title says. I'm not being derogatory. And they walk around just like the gay parade in New York. They've got gay parades in Jerusalem. They've also got what they call slut walks, and these women get out there half naked and they promote being what the Bible would call a promiscuous woman, a whore. It says it in my KJV, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry. It ain't for you. But I just want to show you real fast that there's sin all over the world. God said that judgment will begin at his house. And why is Israel having Iran pressing up on their border? Why is God allowing these Gaza boys down there to give them so much trouble? We pray for Israel. I pray for Israel. God's will be done, and God bless Israel in Jesus' holy name. But the truth is, God's about righteousness and correction, and judgment falls on the wicked. And when you've got gay parades walking down the street, and you're promoting women to instead of being wonderful ladies, you're promoting them to be what the Bible would call a whore, and adultery and fornication, then you're going to have judgment. And so like I said, I'm pro Israel. I support Israel. I pray for Israel. But at the end of the day, God supports Israel too. But he judges them all the time, all throughout the Bible, doesn't he? And when you're doing gay parades and slut walks, and I don't even know all the other stuff that's going on over there, there's going to be judgment come. And these boys down in the Gaza Strip popping, bottle rockets over. If I was sitting over there and bottle rockets were coming over, I'd be repenting and praying and say, God, forgive me and protect us. God causes these serious things to come upon us, whether it's North Korea threatening America or these Islamic guys threatening Israel. God brings these things your way so that you cry out and repent and change your wicked ways. He's always done that, and he will forever. As long as there's something that needs to be corrected, it could be 10,000 years into the future past the millennial reign, and God will still correct us. That's who he is, and that's who he'll always be. So Netanyahu's, in my opinion, a great leader, and he's out there warning these people. Iran. He's out there defending these people against Hamas, a terrorist organization. But at the end of the day, God's not going to call these, dogs off until people repent and change their ways. So this is judgment. Judgment's coming on Israel too. Here's some video put out by the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, and they're showing you 100 rockets at that point within 24 hours, and the rockets started going off. They hit the sirens, and this is what it's like. You're seeing firsthand what it's like to be in Israel with all this chaos and stuff surrounded their people, and it's sad, it's scary, and I feel sorry for them. But this is what's coming to the whole world. You can sit back and be peaceful and sit in comfort today where you're at, but God's going to bring judgment upon all of us just like this, wherever you are. So you better repent while you still have a chance before it's too late and you're stuck in a war zone just like these people. But like I said, I don't like talking about the Gaza situation. It gets me worked up. But they want to come over there and jump the fence, and there's been cases in the past. I seen one where they jumped the fence, run into an Israeli home in the middle of the night, and one man with a knife slaughtered everybody in the home. There was blood strewn across the floors all the way through that house. At the end of the day, these Gaza people are terrorists. They're sitting there, paid terrorists, and they're just waiting to get over into Israel and kill an Israeli with a knife if they have to, and like I said, they've done it. It's nasty, and I like to stay away from that. But it's important. I'm not going to sit there and say it's nothing. It is something, but in comparison to, like I said, those major heavyweight nations, Turkey and Iran, it's small potatoes. But let's talk about something else. You don't like Turkey. You don't like Iran. You don't like North Korea. What about Russia? Do you believe Russia's Magog? Do you believe that they're that bear in Daniel's dream? Most mainstream Christians listening to John Hagee believe that Russia is Gog and Magog, and that they're that bear, right? So you got to believe that. It says Russia appears to be building up its military bases near NATO's weak point, the Baltic Sea. And just in case you don't already know, I'll just pull up a quick. Like I said, I'm a visual person, so I like to show you visually, not just telling you something and go look it up. I'm gonna try to show you all these things every chance I get. What are they talking about? There's the big bear, Russia, and this is the Baltic region over in here, and they're pressing in. And a matter of fact, just to drop a little a fact to you that you might not know, just recently, Russia has renamed some of their troops and their battalions or their little forces or whatever. You know how they break them up in little divisions. They've started renaming their divisions the names of European countries. What does that mean? Why would you name, a Marine battalion Belarus or Ukraine or Latvia or Poland or something? Why would you do that? Because they're making a joke saying that's the Russian troop that's gonna take that region. I mean, that's how serious it is. If you don't already know all the other things that are going on in Russia, there goes you another snapshot. They're constantly doing drills. They just did one of the largest paratrooper drills ever right near on the border, and they're practicing. I just told you earlier, North and South Korea is right here. They just violated South Korea's airspace 4 times, and they're practicing doing drills over here against Europe. And Europe is relying on us to defend them, So if things broke out today, they're not even prepared to defend themselves. I wonder if they're going to have enough time to build up a force to even defend their people. It says that the in the Bible, Daniel's bear is going to rise up and devour much flesh. I'm sure I've been talking for a while. I don't care. Let's keep rolling. Iran's been making threats to us. The U.S. sanctions are isolating the U.S. He's talking junk constantly to us too. Here's another report about those Russian military bombers reportedly spent over 3 hours in Korea air defense identification zone. So again, what are the Russian bombers doing way down here? And South Korea just recently tried to contact Russia, and they want to know. And if it comes back and they say, this or that, if it's, worth sharing, I'll share with you. Crazy stuff all over the world. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm not going to sit here and focus on one thing unless that's what you guys want. If you want me to focus on one little topic and stop ranting and jumping all over the place and make it easier for you, let me know. I'll try to make one topic video. But it's harder to get all this information out, because that means I'm going to have to shut it off, edit, put a video out for one topic, start up another video. Odds are you're not going to hear all this stuff if I don't just start ranting about everything and scroll through and show you things randomly. But you tell me. I've got a small group of subscribers at the moment. What do you guys want? I'm trying to put this out for you. Do you want me to talk about one thing? Do you like it when I jump around and talk about a bunch of things? I'm still new, still starting out. You tell me, what do you want? Is this hard to keep up with? Maybe if you listen to a few rants after a while, you'll know everything that's going on. Again, I like this guy, Jonathan Chang, and he's verified. You see that check, reporting for the Wall Street Journal, and he mainly covers North Korea. I haven't seen him do anything other than that, so he's probably an expert. He says North Korea looks as if they only want to include its future nukes on the agenda. The U.S. wants to pull all nuclear weapons, past, present, and future, on the table. So we want them to give up every nuke they got now and every nuke they'll ever have. And North Korea is starting to come out. They don't want to give up their nukes. Maybe we'll stop making, we won't make any more nukes. We'll give you the future nukes we would have made, but we keeping what we got. Over and over and over. If you're keeping up with any bit of information that's going on with North Korea, they ain't serious about this stuff, man. We want everything, and the only way we're going to come to any sort of agreement is giving them what they want. Otherwise, it's just, they're just going to keep their nukes and quit talking to us. It's going to fall apart. You're going to see real soon. It's going to fall apart. We're going to have enough of it, and we're going to end up hitting North Korea. And then, like I said, when we hit North Korea, because they've been hiding stuff, they've been hiding facilities, and they've been hiding missiles, and they've been playing games with us, we're going to reach out. We're going to hit them, and then who's going to come to their rescue or to their backup? China and Russia. And then what we're going to have on our hands? World War III. Let's keep going. What's this one? Another report talking about what? The Russian planes going down to South Korea. All these verified sources, all these guys, big shots making big paychecks. They're worried about it, but you don't want to take that North Korea stuff seriously. Well, you will. You will soon. Here's an older picture showing that same Golan region, where they're showing the advancements that they just made there. And if you see one of these guys like that, at that point it wasn't made, and you can see now it's updated, and they made that advancement, didn't they? So that's just further keeping up with the further progress on the Iranian offensive against the Golan Heights. Everybody else said it's a Syrian offensive. I'm gonna quit calling it that. It's the Iranian offensive is what it is. And I tweeted the same report and added it to my thread. So now I'm getting into some older stuff that I might have already covered. But I want to pull up this one here. I think I've already got it open right there. And this is talking about they've just recently found another one of these nuclear facilities that it says was first covert. So they've been hiding this facility. We knew about it. We knew it was out there. I'm sure the intelligence agency knew where it was the whole time. But so the point is, they're releasing information to you and me, finally to the public, that look, here's one of the nuclear facilities that they've had for decades running that they're supposedly just found, right? They got more satellite images of this new uranium facility. And I'm not going to read through it, but I'll scroll through here and show you. Pyongyang. I guess this is where the facility is. Not too far. So if you're in the Google Earth or something, you can scroll around and see if you can find that. And let's see, vehicles and shipping containers, monuments and obelisks to the mural. And I see mention, why do they got an obelisk out there? For my conspiracy friends out there and stuff with the Illuminati, they got an obelisk, man. An obelisk? Is it like an Egyptian obelisk? Obelisk? I don't even know how to say it properly. But one of these that Jonathan guy said that apparently, like Kim Jong-un's grandfather or his daddy, I don't even know. They pretend to be gods, so they've got these North Korean people worshiping them like they're a god, and they got all kinds of myths to go with these guys. Who knows what the myths are for Kim Jong-un, but supposedly this same area that they've got this nuclear facility is the same area that one of the grandfathers of Kim Jong-un or whatever, he was born in this area, so it's mythical, and so they got some kind of shrine set up. But the point is, this is a uranium nuclear factory out here, nuclear enrichment plant, and they're building nukes for a nuclear war. That at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. There's fun facts and funny stuff going around all over the place, but the point is what? Here they got a little bit of a gift going, showing you the facilities over a time span. Doesn't look like it's changing. It's been finished for a long time, unlike that missile factory in the last time slot that they showed. So yeah, if you're interested in that, it's on the Diplomat, and you could come on here and find it. It's in my Twitter feed. You can find it and read it. It was just put out Friday, and you can follow this same guy here. He's on Twitter. I think I follow him. And you could follow his Twitter feed right here and see what all he's saying. And I suggest you follow him. If you're already on Twitter and you follow me, find that guy right there and follow him and see what all he's saying. He's got some pretty interesting stuff. And he's another North Korea expert. And they're the guys writing the report and finding these facilities and get into this and if you've had North Korea dreams and God's got to show you information about North Korea, then maybe you should follow up and keep up with North Korea and see how the story's going. Many people have had dreams that North Korea is gonna be the start of a war, World War III, just like I have. And if God gave you that, then maybe you should follow up and watch for God's fulfillment of his dream that he gave you, his prophecy. That's what it is. And then if you're not even going to do it for yourself, put it out there for others to warn them, and maybe it'll help them. Maybe they won't repent and see these nuclear facilities and they don't care, and they'll keep on sinning, whatever it is they're doing. But at bare minimum, if you believe God told you that was going to happen, I believe God showed me that was going to happen. When it's all said and done, and God fulfills His word, they'll remember what you said. They'll remember that God said it was going to happen, and they won't look at it like, oh, it was just some random event that happened. They'll know that God said it was going to happen, and it was going to be judgment on America for sin and wickedness, just like there's going to be judgment on Israel and everywhere else in the entire world. No place is safe. The only people that's safe are the ones that are putting their faith in Jesus Christ. All right? Let's see. Do I even have anything else I want to rant about today? China, check it out. China sends strategic bombers for international drills in Russia. So that picture keeps being relevant, doesn't it? China and Russia are working together. If you don't know, now you know. They're great allies, and they're doing drills together, preparing for what? Practicing for what? For fun? International drills. World War III, folks. Just another sign. Each one of these are small little snapshots, different topics, different areas, different prophecies, but they're all important. And I'm trying to throw it all out there together on my Twitter, on my YouTube, or whatever, to try to get that big picture in your mind. Don't focus on one place. Watch all this and see the forest. Don't look at the one little tree in the woods. Step back and see the whole forest. See the big picture. Tensions are everywhere, man. NATO says this is like Cold War. It's like the Cold War with Reagan. They're comparing this to the most intense time we've had in the past. They're saying this is just as bad as that. And it's not just one guy saying it here or there. The Russians are saying it. Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov said that. Even if you don't agree and you say, oh, it's not as bad as the Cold War, the Russians said it is. Do you know who Lavrov is? Let me show you. You should take this guy seriously. There's Lavrov. He's one of Putin's main guys. He's the foreign minister, and he's very serious. So when Lavrov steps up and he says that it's like the Cold War, I take it seriously. I ain't playing around. They ain't playing around. World War III's on the verge, folks. Wake up if you ain't woke. Wake up. Let's see. Here's a report. It says Moon is the president of South Korea. He says that the U.S. and North Korea will face international criticism if they fail to keep the denuclearization promise. And this guy, follow Global Military Info. Follow him if you find him on my Twitter page and you care. His stuff's great. And he says, he's quoting the information, saying the cracks are beginning to show. Saying what? Here's another guy saying that, and he's saying it. His description is he covers military events all over the world. He's saying this negotiation's falling apart and it's coming out, and you can see it. The cracks are beginning to show. Everybody who's keeping up with this stuff, nobody's surprised. Everybody knows North Korea ain't giving up these nukes. The question is, are we going to... North Korea's always been a trouble. For many presidents throughout the decades, they've came and tried to make peace agreements with North Korea before. If you've done any studying on the history of the situation, but all throughout the past, they give them money. They've given money before. They've sat down. Clinton sat down with them. It's not the first time that we've sat down with a North Korean leader. It's been done before. They've signed paperwork before. This is nothing new. But at the end of the day, North Korea didn't want to give up anything. They didn't want to change anything. And what we ended up doing at the end of the day was just walking away and forgetting about it and just letting it go. It was nothing could be done with it, so they walked away from it. But this time we could do the same. It could be the same as it always is. And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there saying it. Oh, eventually we'll just walk away just like we always do. But that's not what's going to happen this time. And I promise you, I'm telling you, I've had dreams. Many others have had dreams. And if they don't come to the table, and they won't, they ain't giving up nothing like they never have before, we're going to hit them. We're going to hit them, and it's going to be World War III. And this is just a snapshot of a couple of days ago, showing you again another example that the negotiations are falling apart, and this is not going to work out. So I would probably been ranting for an hour. Who knows? Baltics, Ukraine, Israel. They're talking about more sanctions on Russia and China, not just for North Korea violations, but Iranian violations. Iran. I hope you get the point. I hope you're starting to see this big picture. If you want more, come check out this Twitter page. Scroll through there and check this stuff out for yourself. I make one video here and there, but I tweet all the time. I'm keeping up with this stuff all the time. Keep up with Israel. Keep up with the Golan Heights. At bare minimum, as an adult Christian, you follow the Revelation 12 sign. You follow the stars in the sky. You've been following earthquakes. Follow God's country and the prophecies he said. Ezekiel 38, Isaiah 17. Keep up with God's country. He said he was going to bring the Iranians against the mountains for judgment. And then he's going to work a miracle, and he's going to send them back to glorify himself throughout the entire world. Read Ezekiel 38. Read that prophecy. Read Jeremiah 49:23. I got open right there. And like I said, what is that talking about? Idlib region. Right there. Tel Rafat. Arpad is Tel Rafat. Hama. And I mean, I could keep going. There's lots of stuff going over here on the Euphrates River. You know that Bible verse in Revelations talks about there being angels released underneath the Euphrates River. And what happens if there was a spirit released under the Euphrates River? Would you see it? I don't think so. I don't think, at some point that's going to be fulfilled. It's God's word. We believe it to be true. Do you think whenever the angels get released from under the Euphrates River that you're going to see it? I don't think so. It's a spirit. The spirit's going to come out. You ain't going to see it. But what's the results of what's going to happen out of that? It says that there's going to be a 200 million man army and there's going to be a war. 200 million man army. Man, that's got to be World War III. And you know what's going on out here on the Euphrates and Deir Ezzor, Abu-Kamal area, right in this region here, the corner of Syria, out here towards Iraq? They're getting into it with the Russians and the Americans. American-backed forces, which this will be the Russian-backed forces over here, and American-backed forces have gotten into it, and there's reports that we've killed hundreds of Russians already on this Euphrates River. Matter of fact, I've been meaning to do it, and I haven't. I've been sitting on this and hadn't opened it up and told you anything about it. I'm going to go ahead and do it now while I'm talking about it. Pompeo was the head of the CIA at one point, and he's recently become the Secretary of Defense of the White House. But at one point, Pompeo came out and he said, we already killed hundreds of Russians in Syria, and they didn't do a thing. They didn't retaliate. So that's what I'm talking about. And you can't take my word for it. Take Pompeo's word for it. He's at the White House. He's the Secretary of Defense. He used to be the head of the CIA. And he said, we killed Russians on the Euphrates River, hundreds of them. That's what he just said. You see that? We killed hundreds of them. He said it. It's public. You can look it up for yourself. You can find it all over the place, not just that report. Right out here in Deir Ezzor, Abu-Kamal, Iranians coming through this area. ISIS is out here. U.S. against Russia's out here. Syrians out here. And let me back out and show you, if you don't know where that's at. This is Syria. This is the corner of Syria. This is Iraq. Iran's right next door over here. Right there, see? And in reference to Israel, every Christian should know where Israel's at if you don't already know. Like I said, if this is like repetitive and you already know some of this stuff and it's kind of dumb for you, I try to give you breaking news that you might not have heard. But I'm trying to reach people that don't know anything and they're new. And so if I'm covering something you already know, well, that's good. That's good for you. Just follow along on Twitter page and keep up with the breaking stuff. And you don't need a lesson on all these things. You know where it's at. That's great. You don't have to watch the videos, but subscribe to my channel and support me anyway, right? But I'm making these videos for people that don't have any understanding in this region or don't know any backstory on these events or don't know exactly where that's at, so they can catch up, and then once you get understanding of what's going on, the backstory, you get interested, you could study a little bit, and then you could come to the feed and follow along with what's going on. Like I said at the beginning here, Assad fired 800 missiles in 6 hours, only 4 kilometers, around 4 miles from Israel's border, and that's generally this morning, today. It's already almost lunchtime now. I've been talking all morning long. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. This is OBS. For anybody on YouTube, my Christian friends out there who are making videos, this is a free program. You don't have to pay for that screen recording stuff that most people use. OBS is a free recording program, and it's a little complicated, but they've got tutorials on YouTube. Just go over to YouTube and type in, let's see, OBS tutorials. There you go. Pull it up and bang. I'm trying to help you out. And there's plenty of people, and you can watch short videos, long videos, and they'll show you exactly how to set it up and how it works. And so I'm not, hiding anything from you. I'm going to show you all the little tricks I'm learning, so that, like I said, it's not about me. It's about Jesus. It's about the information. It's about warning people. It's about, telling people it's time to repent. It's about sounding that trumpet. The sword is coming. War is coming. Israel is on the verge of war right now. And I'm telling you, we are too, whether you realize it or not. But yeah, so, download the program and check that out and do it for yourself. This is, for anybody who's been watching and wondering, that's Voice Meter. And it's another little program I set up so that it makes your sound a little clearer. You can play with the settings and turn up the volume on how you sound. I showed this in the past. That's BlueStacks. Works just like a phone. And you can set up your notifications on Twitter and go through and keep up with what's going on. You can see I got reports coming in from all over the world. American, Israeli, all kinds of stuff. Chinese, Asian, lots of different reports all over the place. I'm trying to keep up with whatever's happening wherever. This map is a great thing to check out, and you can follow them on Twitter, and they'll send you, as these little spots start breaking off, you'll get a notification and see what they're talking about. And you'll have plenty of information. Like I said, download that OBS free program, and you have plenty of information. You can bust out your phone and tell your people what's going on, and sound that trumpet for Jesus. Warn people. That's what I'm doing. It's not about me. I'm just trying to show you what I'm looking at, and make your own video and you do this for yourself. I'm not on Facebook. I use Twitter like my Facebook, and then post on YouTube like everybody else, and that's all I do. So you got an outlet that I don't even use. So you could take some of the same information and put it out on Facebook. But Christians need to be watching what's going on with Israel right now in this Golan Heights region. Americans need to be watching what's going on with North Korea, China, Russia, and Iran somewhat is relevant to us. We'll see. But like I said, this is the buffer zone on the Golan Heights. Israel said that they are going to enforce it, and there's constant advancements by, like I said, I'm not going to call it the Syrian forces. I'm going to call it the Iranian forces, and they're pushing in, and they're saying they're going to destroy Israel. So what do you think about that? You think that's prophetic? Does that concern you? All right, guys. I hope you found something interested in this. I hope it showed you some type of sign. Nations against nations, rumors of wars. I hope you found something encouraging to keep you waiting on Jesus. These are signs to me that he's coming soon, man. Regardless, if he leaves us here halfway through the tribulation, I know a lot of people don't even believe in the pre-trib rapture. That's fine. You believe in whatever you want, as long as you believe in Jesus and faith, staying faithful like you're faithful to your wife. You better not cheat on your wife. You better not cheat on Jesus. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. Whether you're following these events and the Bible prophecies, and no matter what level of understanding you got, what's the most important thing when it comes to God? Faith. Don't cheat on your wife. Don't cheat on Jesus. Faith like you have being faithful or unfaithful to your spouse. Be faithful and don't cheat on Jesus, and he's going to take care of us. So if you don't believe in a pre-trib rapture, you should be worried about these international events way more than me. I believe in a pre-trib rapture. And like I said, it's just an interpretation. It's not something to get upset about. Sin and faith is something to fight about. If they believe that you can sin and it's all right, that's something to fight about. Something I just block and walk away from, But that's something to take seriously. But interpretation, not so much. It's just a level of understanding that you're at today. You keep praying and seeking God for understanding, and God said that He will give you understanding. He's the God of truth and understanding and light, not confusion and darkness. He's gonna give you understanding. He wants you to understand. He's got me over here putting this stuff out because He wants somebody out there in the intranet land is watching and hopefully picking some of this stuff up. And if not, if nothing else, I'm having fun. And it's keeping me working for God. So read that Jeremiah 49:23. Where's our pad? Where's our pad at? Our pad is Tel Rafat. Let me show you. Tel Rafat, right there. Who's up there on Tel Rafat right now? Turkey. Where's Hamath in that Bible verse? Hamath is what they said, right? Where's Hamath? Hamath is right here. Hama. Who's right there? Turkey. Lots of stuff going on, guys. And like I said, that ain't even the one that I'm excited about. Some people are, my friends are, and I'm watching that seriously. I'm watching it. But what I'm excited about right now is this area right here. Iran moving in on Golan Heights. Pray for Israel. Pray for their safety. Pray for their victory over the people that are coming in and saying that they're going to attack them. Pray for their protection against those bottle rockets that these Hamas terrorists are launching at them. Pray that they call out to Jesus and they repent. But what was the verse God said that He said until they say, "Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord." Until they say that. What is He saying? Until they recognize Jesus is what I think that means. And I don't even know what chapter and verse that's at, but or even the book. You tell me in the comment section. You know that Bible verse. Let's have fun, but at the same time, let's be serious. Let's be adults, and let's watch this thing in an adult manner. I'm not watching any more stars. I'm not watching zodiac signs. I'm not watching gematria numbers. And if you are, that's the level of understanding you're at, and maybe that's where you're at in the walk with God today. I'm not going to trash you, but God's not led me to any numbers. God's not led me to any stars. I asked God when I first started trying to do something for God and produce a fruit for God. I said, God, there's plenty of people out there with dreams. There's plenty of people out there preaching, and they have been for thousands of years. What do you need me for? What would you like me to do? I said, Lord, if you want me to do something for you, I can easily turn on a video and talk, but give me something to talk about. What would you like me to give to people? And I said, Lord, I want to be different. And this is what the Lord's been leading me and showing me, and He's had me studying and working me up for this for a long time. And now he's got me in the position. He wants me to put this information out. God's not told me anything about any stars. He hasn't told me anything about any numbers. I've had dreams. I take dreams seriously. Jeremiah had dreams. Most of the book of Revelation is John's dreams. He's dreaming about beasts. Daniel's dreaming about beasts. And I take dreams very seriously. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of serious prophecy about to unfold in the land of the awake living people here too. And Ezekiel's dreams are coming true. Daniel's dreams are coming true. John's dreams are coming true. At some point, you got to look for the dreams in real life and watch for the fulfillment of these things. Russia is sending their military aircraft way down here, and South Korea says, "What's up with that? Why you doing that?" China and Russia are running drills together, preparing for international conflict. We've got it out with Russia. Man, I've covered so much. You already know. If I keep going over it, I'll just be repeating myself. So I'm ranting. I hope this entertains somebody and helps somebody. Be encouraged. Watch this stuff for yourself. Tell your friends about it. Pray for Israel, please. And God bless you in Jesus' holy name. Amen.